Hello guys, my name is Nick, aka Outrunner. You've heard my voice, now you've seen my face. Not the prettiest thing to look at, I apologize, but I work with what I've got. Now, in today's video breakdown, I'm going to show you the inner workings of my release called Boombox. And that's not the real artwork in the top corner there. That's sort of like an individual track artwork that I specifically made for the track that didn't get used because I thought it was going to be an EP. I only had 3 tracks to release. Ended up being a single. So the artwork on Spotify and iTunes is actually a cassette, and it's got Boombox, and it's got 3 tracks listed on there. So it's it says Outrunner, then it says Boombox 1111, and then Stellar. So the other 2 tracks on the release, in case you were wondering. There'll be a link in the description below. They'll take you to the release if you want to listen to it on Spotify, or just check for Outrunner on iTunes. Why you might be wondering why I decided to show my face. I don't know, this might be a little bit more friendly, a little bit more welcoming, if you will. Something a little bit different. I've seen a lot of producers just do a lot of videos like this where they just speak off camera and you just hear their voice. I thought this might be a little bit better, a little bit more intimate, you know, candlelit dinner, all that good stuff. So we're going to play a little bit of the track, and I'm just going to break down some bits and pieces, as you can see here. Just the intro, we'll play it till about here, should be about the 30-second bar, and then I'll stop, and then we'll just give you a bit of a breakdown on this section here, so you can hear what's happening in this bit here, which is a little bit different. Now, the track itself didn't turn out how I wanted it to. Initially, I wanted to make it a bit more of a serious tune, similar how Redliner turned out. This was going to be a sort of like a Redliner 2.0. I'm still happy how the track turned out itself. I don't think it's a bad track, because music is so subjective. I mean, you can have a kick, snare, chords, and one melody, and that is it, and that can be a masterpiece. I mean, look at the Beatles. The Beatles did fantastic work with so minimal effort and elements in their music, but it was so good and it works. So, you know, if anyone's wondering how do you know when a track is complete, you don't. It's just whenever you feel it's complete, then it's complete. That is how it is. It's all to the person who is working on the music, whether you're a solo producer, band, or whatever. But it turned out okay. It's not happy. It's not the right term I would use. I'd probably say a bit more uplifting, a little bit more cheery. So anyways, I'll stop talking crap, and we'll listen to the first minute or so, and then we'll go through some bits and pieces. So as you can hear there in the first minute, it's got a bit of an intro with a cassette going into a cassette player. It sort of fits on the theme of Boombox. Initially, I was going to have the intro starting with like a breakdance beat, something like an Africa Bombada type of sound. If you think of the scene in Ali G, when they're breakdancing to get through the laser beams in Parliament House, or wherever the hell they were towards the end of the scene, that sort of a feel there, but it just wasn't working, it wasn't flowing, so I decided to just scrap it and just do like a filtered intro as though I was listening to music through a cassette. So we'll just go back to it real quick, and it does filter as well. It's got like a radio filter, just a standard FL Studio EQ2, parametric EQ2 radio filter, I think it is, or maybe just a standard filter, and then also just a leveler. So So that's the cassette effect there, and then it sort of just kicks in with some pads. And this is where it sort of starts to filter in here. And there's a bit of a drum leading into the first break. So very simple, the chords. I'm gonna have to keep this on, aren't I? And I've got my camera in the way, so bear with me while I try and see what's happening at the moment. Bad place to have a camera set right in front where you can't see your screen, but we'll get by. So this is the intro. Oh, and I forgot the bass pad as well. So literally what you hear at the start is literally just the intro. It's got these 4 elements. So I've got the bass pad. We'll just play where it's unfiltered. Oh, now it's gonna work. So a lot of reverb, some delay as well, to give it that big full sound. And then we also had this section here. So my chords go for about, or most of them go for a bar or half a bar. So at the start here you can see they sort of go for like 1 bar on, 1 bar off, and then he goes 1.5 bars and then a half bar as well. I know it's hard to hear, but I mean you get the idea. And let's check out this one as well. We'll just do these 2 here. So first one. If you're wondering what this is, I think this is the DX preset. Pretty sure that's what it is. I think it's the DX preset in FL. Not FL, obviously it's FL. I think it's in Nexus. It's one of the presets in Nexus. Let's check it. It's completely dropped the whole thing. Let's have a look here. So as it goes through, I hate doing this in real time. Very unprepared, very unprofessional, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Where are we here? Is that the one? No, because I got the filter on. I don't know. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's like one of the DX presets in. I think it's in the 80s pack in Nexus 3. Not synthwave specifically. It might be the pianos in FM, in the FM pack, or maybe in the 80s sounds pack. So I'm not 100% sure. I need to double check that. But in any case, that's pretty much the intro, and then there's a bit of a little bit of a melody kicking in here. Very simple, nothing fancy. So you get that. It's no delay on that. Very pretty dry. I'm surprised actually. I thought I had some delay on there, but I mean it does the job. Seems to be working okay. So that's the start of it. Then we've got this section here. So there's the bass line as well. Bass line, if you've listened to some of my other stuff, let's get it there. It sort of sounds the same. I like the 4/4. Also like the repeating pattern, whatever hell you call it. And of course you've got to use sidechain on there. So I use Nicky Romero's Kickstart. I mean it's good use of $20 or whatever it cost me, Australian dollars. But then the bass line changes, so it goes in that section there. Then there's a bit of a break around about here. So you can hear the bass line change as it goes into that the more heavy sidechain side of things. So that's where I get that that Outrunner redliner type of sound. I can't remember what I use for that. I don't want to check because I'm gonna keep bopping my head up and down. I won't be able to see anything. So that's that section there. Then there's a bit of an ARP that kicks in as well. So you can hear I sort of cut off the filter to open it up a little bit, and we'll just listen to that bit again. So yeah, pretty clever, nice use, and that was just manually done. And this was the section I wanted to have a chat with as well. I know I've gone over what, 10 minutes already, 15, ooh, 11 minutes. Okay, speed it up, Nick. You're taking too long. This little section here, which it goes into a bit of a heavier break. So let's listen to this bit. That's pretty much the gist of it there, and that's my voice. A bit of a trick I learned, just say something into that Rode NT1 here, record it, get your levels set, put some effects on there, put it through a vocoder, and you get something like this. So it just says the actual vocal is boom 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 with the boom boom box. Here we go, you hear it better now. That's literally all it is. Where are we here? So if we check it out on this front here, you can see a whole bunch of effects I've got on there. If I take the vocoder off, boom 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 with the boom boom box. It sounds stupid. It sounds so stupid. I hate. I cringe when I hear it clean. But when you listen to it with the vocoder, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet indeed. So that's a nice little trick if you just want to put a vocal in there, but you don't have a good singing voice, or you can't do a rap or anything like that. Record something with an accent, whatever. Put some effects behind it. Put it through a vocoder. Put it in the key, and then off you go. And this section here, which you might have heard a bit of the glitchy sound, there is actually the glitch plug-in behind it. So we'll just listen to this in isolation here. And that's literally just playing the same note over and over. It's in A sharp. As you can see there, it's just the same note being, oh no, actually down here. So yeah, A sharp, but it's in the 3rd octave, and then it jumps up to the 4th octave. Nothing fancy, and with this, we've put a glitch behind it. So without the glitch again. and our width. So it gives it a little bit something different, otherwise it's just going to be the same thing over and over again repeating itself. So that's where I get the idea for that, and you get this in the end. And just goes back into with the ARP and all the other bits and pieces, and the this glitch fades out. And then the outro, pretty simple. It just drops, you know, drums disappear around about here, and then it just sort of like goes into some chords, and then it fades out. And that's pretty much it, and that's the track, and that is 5.5 minutes. So that is pretty much all of Boombox. And as I said, if you want to listen to it, it's in the description. Check the description below. I'm on Spotify. Follow, do all the good stuff. We've got some tracks on Bandcamp as well. If you like this sort of stuff, there's some more mellow stuff on Bandcamp. I'm also on SoundCloud. I do also venture on the subreddits of Outrun, Vaporwave, Synthwave producers, and pretty much all those under Outrunner_music. And also shout out to the guys at the Synthwave producers page on Facebook. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Probably gone a little bit longer than what I expected. Was near 18 minutes or so. But I have been Nick, aka Outrunner. Hopefully this has been a little bit educational. And again, I don't do this to show off. I don't do this to brag or anything like that. It's just I find when I see how other people make their music, it sort of gives me ideas as to what I can do with my own music. So hopefully you take something from this and you know, you implement it. Whether it's putting a glitch effect on a hook or a melody that you've got, filtering something in, changing a bass line halfway through a track with a different pattern and things like that. I mean, these little things make a big difference. They may seem insignificant, but I mean, with music, I mean, sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. So if that's a takeaway from this video, I hope you take that away. But as I said, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you very much for watching once again. If you haven't subscribed, please do so in the down below where it says subscribe. Hit the notification bell, get all the new videos. I'll try and make these as frequently as I can. But once again, thank you very much, and you'll see me in the next one. See you later.